Hello, everybody. Scott Golden with the Pro Wrestling Logic YouTube channel as we continue our World Class Championship Wrestling review series as we are about midway midway through 1982 September. September 11th, 1982 to be exact, is this particular broadcast, and really simple broadcast, to be honest with you. When I mean simple, 4 matches in and out, and it looks like this might be one of those thrown together type tapings because nothing really of note in the process at all. So it should be a pretty quick review, maybe 10 minutes or so, a little more, a little less. But Brian Adias versus Roberto Renslow. He is obviously Adias needing the win back after last week's challenge, but and he does get it here. Renslow, not really a major guy, although he does get some offense here because under the auspices of Adias still being a first-year pro, why not get him the ring time? Actually, he dominates the first few minutes of the match, does Roberto, and we get a comeback from Brian Adias. Of course, Adias, a fan and friend of the Von Erichs, personal friend. So I think they said high school at one point. He tries a head scissors takeover over the top rope. Doesn't work out very well, although he does the leaping head scissors part very well, just not the to the outside aspect of things. Nerve hold, which I wonder if it's gimmick infringement by Roberto on Adias, and there's frustration there. The referee getting pushed to the side, almost challenging him to come on, and wants him to, really wants to fight, really wants to go at it, and Adias is willing to oblige. High hip tosses and all sorts of other bigger things, and it's interesting because I think even in the way they kind of put forward the younger talents, you get a sense that every match matters. Awkward attempt at a victory roll near the end of the match, and so they immediately go to another finish, being a small package. But it's if you go and watch this, and it's useful for any independent wrestler who's just starting out or independent wrestler who doesn't want to look hokey. The Adias botches what's supposed to be a victory roll. I mean, it just does not go. And immediately he just switches to another finish. Obviously, Renslow probably the one calling the spot, but regardless, that's what you do. You switch it up. And the fans don't know because they don't know what you're going to do. We move into a clunker of a match next as Jose Supersock Lothario against the Superfly. Whoever's idea this was probably has had better ideas. This match is about as interesting as it sounds. Lothario gets an early advantage, doesn't last very long, only a couple of minutes. Superfly takes over for the next several minutes, and Lothario, I will give him credit on 2 points. Firstly, when he is upright, he is guarding himself like he's going to get hit. He's guarding himself like he's in a fight. He has his hands up, ready to fight. Secondly, he does get a single leg pick on the Superfly, a guy that's about maybe not double his size, but a size and a half ahead. And that single leg pick does make him look credible. But suffice to say, they're given several too many minutes here, as the pacing of the match is slower than molasses. And unless you understand that Lothario was a hero throughout Texas for a good bit of time, you probably would wonder if this was your first foray into the WCCW fame, you're wondering why these two guys are in there. I don't quite get the Superfly in general. I suppose maybe he was supposed to be somebody different. Meaning maybe a different talent was supposed to come in and they filled him in with somebody. I don't know what the benefit is, but needless to say, Arman Hussein helping him from the outside with a nerve hold on Lothario, and Lothario finally does make his way back to his feet, brings in Arman Hussein, and Lothario also gets a knockout punch on the man, as is to be expected when you are known as Super Sock. I believe the referee actually stopped the match for the knockout blow, but Lothario does get your victory. Um, it is clear that uh, Superfly wants to go back at Lothario. I don't think any. Well, I think the fans in the arena wanted it because they didn't know any better, but I don't think the fans in the arena wanted it for the match quality, because it just wasn't there. We go to Great Kabuki versus Sal Alvarez. This is a one-sided affair. Before we get to that, we have Gary Hart talking about the challenges in Hart's upcoming individuals coming in, checkmate and the like. We get him talking about, his dislike of the broadcasting team and putting over Kabuki. Kabuki obviously needs some rehabbing after taking some falls in some tag matches over the last several months. So, what better way than to give him a one-sided squash affair? And that's what he gets here. Several kicks. He also talks about a new hold that Kabuki is going to implement, a basically shin crusher. What I like about this is a very basic move, just wraps the leg around and drops downward, and it looks like it dislocates the knee. That's the idea of the hold. The referee stops the match, and we are on to Kabuki being completely a new guy, really. Just off one hold that doesn't actually hurt, but looks like $1,000,000. And I think when Jim Ross jokingly says, "Go away and learn a new hold," I think that's valuable. Bugsy McGraw out, former Hart and Hussein club management member, and he, doesn't like what happened to the enhancement talent here. He challenges Kabuki and all of Hart's cronies. Then we go to a Von Erich-based main event as David Von Erich comes back in singles this time against King Kong Bundy. This match goes pretty intensely for about 10 or 11 minutes. Bundy using power quite a bit. David going to the outside for a little bit to recatch his breath, kind of redraw himself. Von Erich using the claw right on the temples of Bundy, and I will admit, one thing I do like about World Class, especially for 1982, they get some tight camera shots, and even the claw looks damaging. It looks like the Von Erichs put the fear of God into people, and also that they dig the nails in with the claw. Bundy's sent to the outside of the ring through the middle rope at a point, and Bundy almost trips and falls into the people. He is dissatisfied with this. You do see actual uniformed police officers. That's a completely different time than what we have now. But uniformed police officers holding off the fans, just because Bundy was on the outside of the ring for a bit. Obviously, the Sportatorium not having the best security. Bundy runs over Von Erich and collides with the referee, trying to run over Von Erich again. Obviously, this leads to David trying to revive the referee, giving Bundy the opportunity to regain control of the match. Bundy slows the match down, but David not having any of it, and fights back appropriately. The referee out, and several members of the locker room have to come out and separate the two men. I do not believe we get a clear finish here, but again, Von Erich has been gone for a while, and you can get several months if you need to out of Bundy and David Von Erich, because David hadn't been around for the majority of Bundy's 1982 run. So that will close us for the September 11th edition. We'll be back with more, but until then, keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment.